Hello. My name is Carrie. I want to talk today on ESP, or extrasensory perception. Many people already know, there are clairvoyants who see things, and clairaudience who hear things. Until a couple of years ago, I thought that was all. In search of deeper answers, I found I wasn't alone. Unusual things happened to other people too. There were similarities, but there were also differences. The largest difference being, there was no definition for the way I experienced things. I detailed my experiences before looking at others, to avoid corrupting my own clear memory. The natural way for me to describe how I know something, was I feel things, or sense things. I didn't see things the way clairvoyance described them. I didn't hear things like clairaudience described it. There were elements of similarity, but nothing that described my experience. Nobody else was sensing, or feeling things, in the way I experienced it. My quest for the answer was a real eye-opener. My way of looking at things changed, and a new paradigm began to emerge. Everything I thought I knew, was so small, compared to the universal and infinite story I sensed within me. Lack of available information has never deterred me. Finding answers is the result of patience, and persistence. I trusted the universe would let me see, or notice, when I had learned enough to understand it. My patience was rewarded. I happened upon a channeling, of the ninth dimensional Pleiadian collective. I heard it, I knew I had found it. There's not much said about it, but a pearl just the same. In all the channelings I had listened to, this was the only one that gave a brief description. It wasn't much, but it was more than enough, in beginning to truly understanding myself. Here is what I learned. There are three types of extrasensory perception: clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience. The first two are well known, but the third, clairsentience, is not so well known. Clairsentience is when people perceive things by feeling, or sensing them. It is more subtle, yet more potent than the other two. It has more in-depth understanding, and inner knowing. Each individual has their own strengths, weaknesses, and preferences. According to these, we each have a predisposition to one of the three extrasensory perceptions, as a starting point to accessing a more universal and complete knowledge. This starting point, of personal preference of the three, is merely a foundation for developing your own potential, until all three are working in unity. After learning this, my biggest question was, why was clairsentience more potent than the other two? I already understood what subtle meant, only too well. Sometimes things are so subtle you miss them. Here's the answer I came up with. Clairvoyance and clairaudience are both extensions of physical senses we already use. We see, but a clairvoyant can see more. We hear, but a clairaudient can hear more. So if we extend this further with clairsentience, we find, we all feel, but clairsentience feel more. What we feel is not a physical sense, it is an emotional response, and that's the difference from the others. I thought about this, and realized, I do feel more. I not only know myself, but I can sense who others are. I have been accused in the past, of judging people without knowing them. But, I sense them, I do know who they are. Unfortunately, every time I ignored what I sensed, I regretted it. I was right about them in the first place, and I was stupid to put myself in that position. I was forewarned, and did nothing about it. It can be a little disheartening, because you want to believe the best in people, and you give them a chance. Your instinct told you better, and you flatly ignored it, now you reap the damage. Other people tell you, it's impossible to know someone without talking to them. I tell you it's not. Talk can be deceptive, and manipulated. People only show you what they want you to see. Everybody has an energy about them. When you sense someone else's energy, you are sensing who they are. Hello. I suppose you could say then, that clairsentience is more potent. It has the ability to see past words and actions, that might be deceptive. It has the ability to feel, or get a sense of a person. We all possess this, but many don't trust the impression, or feeling they get. We are trained in society, to ignore instinct and intuition. They won't hold up in a court of law, or scientific explanation, so we dismiss them, as primitive and useless. Nobody these days, has any trust in other people's instincts and intuition. People want cold hard facts, that they can see and touch. I believe clairsentience is the most intuitive, and most reliable, relying less on extensions of physical senses we already use. But first, you must learn how to recognize it. It comes from within, and is only a part of the journey ahead. Instinct and intuition must be restored, to become part of our discernment in our choices. We have denied a crucial part of ourselves, and the truth we can perceive in them is lost. Recognizing your own extrasensory perceptions, is the beginning of understanding. The more you trust and believe in yourself, the more you will expand and open your connection to Source. To be able to perceive anything outside of your normal senses, you have to trust in yourself, and what you're experiencing. Pay attention to that inner voice, you know, the one that tells you, "I told you so," when you don't listen to it. This is your own inner voice, listen to it, it really does know more than you. Your soul is the purest spark of divine light. There are infinite numbers of expressions within that spark, and our individual experience is a part of the infinite. We are never separate. Thank you for listening. In my next video I will expand more on clairsentience, and what it has been like for me. I have used my own photos to avoid copyright issues. I hope you enjoyed them. If you liked it, then don't forget to hit the like button. If you didn't like it, then share it around anyway, someone you know might get something out of it. Be kind to each other, and yourself. Talk to you soon. Cheers from Carrie.